Well, when I first came to El Paso, I worked with a law firm headed by Ray Pearson, and so he was my mentor, and he took me out for a cup of coffee and he said, you need to get into the precinct convention and I need some support. And at that time we had what was called conservative Democrats, because the whole state was Democrat back 30 years ago, 35 years ago probably, and even Phil Grimm, who was a staunch right-wing Republican, was a Democrat at that time. So conservative Democrats are kind of middle of the road as far as politics, and that was a niche that I felt I fit in. And so I organized my precinct, just like he told me what to do, and get there and have people sign in and get yourself elected as precinct chair. Well, I did that for 4 terms, from actually 4 different precincts, because I moved a couple times, and I was hooked. And I enjoyed politics. I enjoyed writing campaigns and organizing myself. And when I ran for city council, which I served 2 terms before I was mayor, I walked door to door to just thousands of people's homes, and that was fun. I actually liked it. My first campaign, I had a male opponent who said, so what, she's a cheerleader for El Paso. What El Paso needs is a head coach. Therefore talking about the female role versus the male role. And it really backfired on him. It was, the 90s. I mean, really, men should not be playing that game with a community where more women vote than men vote. It was very exhilarating, even though I had been sworn in 2 different ceremonies before that as a councilwoman. It was packed. The room was packed, the Civic Center Theater, and there was a standing ovation, and I was humbled. I mean, I thought, this is me. I've done this. This is wonderful. That's great. El Paso is resistant to change, and part of the reason that I didn't continue was we had a lot of changes environmentally. We started the oxygenated fuel program, which brought our pollution levels down to a standard level, and we met EPA guidelines for the first time ever, and people had to pay 2 cents a gallon more. I mean, back then, when we were only paying $1.50 for gas, the 2 cents really didn't matter much, but now you really don't notice. I mean, the oxygenated fuel program ended March 15th or something, but we never saw the price of oxygenation go down because it's just part of doing business for the refinery. So it was a bold step, and I got a lot of people that said it's not going to do any good. I don't know what you're doing. So it did take a little courage to make some bold steps in air pollution. We got rid of mulberry trees in the city, and there are a lot of people who just love their mulberry trees. So all of them were all excited, and so you build some enemies when you really try to tackle issues that are affecting people. Well, back when I was in office, we had the stormwater drainage issue, and they called it a rain tax in order to address things back in the early 90s. And then the storm of 2006 that took out a large part of central El Paso and really has caused the city billions of dollars, could have been repaired for a few $1,000,000 if the taxpayers had just stepped forward. And I just got so much heat for that, for even talking about water damage. And then this is the desert. We never have any water damage. We're not going to have to worry about stormwater. So I might have approached it a whole lot differently and taken a longer time to get that enacted, and I would have pursued it. That you, as an elected official, really serve the people, and that you really need to listen to people, and you need to respond to their priorities and not just your own. I guess that was an important lesson for me, and it was really a good lesson to learn as far as being a businesswoman, because of course they use that phrase, the customer is always right, but you really do have to listen to your constituents.